everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today is another episode of my haul/unhaul project. So I brought in a whole bunch of books, like 14 altogether. So I need to get rid of another 14 to bring in 14. So let's briefly go over my book of the month books that I just brought in. I just did an unboxing video, so in case that one isn't up yet, I'm not going to go into details on my thoughts on how excited I am for them or whatever, because I already talked about them in that other video, so I will link it down below once it's up. If it's not up yet, watch out for it, but it will be in that video. But let me show you briefly what those books are. So, for Book of the Month, I got Happy Never After by Lynn Painter, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwon, and The Familiar by Lee Bardugo. So that's all the Book of the Month books that I just got. Now let's go into the other books that I also picked up. One of which I am currently reading, so I'll talk about that one first. The one that I'm currently reading is Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Ray got this for me as a gift because he finished the series before I did. He wants me to finish it so we could talk about the series. So he's like, it's cheap on Amazon, go ahead and get it. And I am psyched because I'm already enjoying it. I'm not that far into it. I'm just starting chapter 12. But it's a thick book, so I got a little bit to go. However, these books go super fast, so I'm sure I will finish this in no time. And I can't wait to talk about it with Ray when I finish it, because I inspired him to read the whole Natural series. And he read the whole series in like a week on audio. And I'm like, dang. He really enjoyed the series. So he wants to talk about it, so I'm going to finish up this book. I cannot wait to see where this takes me. And here's a few others I've also accumulated. Let me give you a brief stack so you can see what they all look like. There's quite a bit here. So with all the books, including those books I already shown you, there's 14 of them. So this is the, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've already shown you. So this is the other 9. So let's get into these 9. And I will tell you how excited I am for each and every one of them, because I am. So I have gotten Spark of the Ever Flame by Penn Cole. Everywhere I turn, someone else is talking about this series and how amazing it is. And the FOMO was getting to me. So I'm like, I need this book, and I need to read it sooner rather than later. So you might see this potentially in my May TBR. It says, in a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the Descended, their cruel magic-wielding offspring, Diem Bellador, yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer Diem an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of Descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the dying king's handsome, mysterious heir watching her every move, and a ruthless rebel alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, Diem will have to navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mortal kind. That sounds so good. And everyone's talking about this series these days, so the FOMO was like really hitting me. I need this book. So now I'm going to try and attempt this series myself. I'm really hoping I'm going to love it because it sounds amazing. And then these next two I picked up from Four Paws in a Book. Bree, she has her own Pango Books store. So I got these off her Pango Books because I saw her unhaul them in a video, and then she was selling them. So I decided to get them because one of them was already on my wish list, and the other one I heard really good things about. So the one that was on my wish list is Girls Made of Snow and Glass. And this has been on my wish list for a little while. And I am very much interested in this. Because it says, 16-year-old Mina is motherless, her magician father is vicious, and her silent heart has never beat with love for anyone. In fact, her heart has never beat at all, but she'd always thought that was normal. Mina never guessed that her father had cut out her heart and replaced it with one of glass. When she moves to White Spring Castle and sees its king for the first time, Mina forms a plan. Win the king's heart with her beauty, become queen, and finally know love. The only catch is that she'll have to become his stepmother. 15-year-old Lynette looks just like her late mother, and one day she discovers why. A magician created her out of snow in the dead queen's image at her father's orders. But despite being the dead queen made flesh, Lynette would rather be like her fierce and regal stepmother, Mina. She gets her wish when her father makes Lynette queen of the Southern Territories, displacing Mina. Now Mina is starting to look at Lynette with something like hatred, and Lynette must decide what to do and who to be to win back the only mother she's ever known, or else defeat her. Only one can win all, while the other loses everything, unless they can find a way to reshape themselves and their story. And that sounds so interesting, because it sounds fascinating. It sounds like something I'm going to love, so I'm very excited for that. And the other one that I got from her Pingo bookstore is The Change by Kirsten Miller. I've heard so many amazing things about this book for so long, and I decided I needed it for myself because it sounds really interesting. I believe it's like there's a lot of paranormal in this, where this woman can, I believe she can hear voices, and I think it has something to do with ghosts, and I don't know much, but I've heard a lot of excellent things about this, and when Bree decided to unhaul it and sell it, I'm like, I need to get my hands on this and see if I like it, because I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm excited to give this one a shot, and I'm very excited to read it. And then another book that I got, so for those who watched my April TBR, I ended up reading House of Ash and Shadow by Leah Stone. And I know I haven't done my April wrap-up yet, or any wrap-ups for, at least not for this month yet. But I loved it so much, I needed the next book, like, now. So, as a gift, I was gifted this book, and I cannot wait to read it. It's the second book after House of Ash and Shadow. This one is House of War and Bone. So this follows Fallon, where she is cursed to feel pain every time somebody touches her, until she meets Orion. And Orion is the only person that can touch her, and she won't feel any pain. So, and then she ends up going to this magical school, and to learn more about her powers, and she finds out about her lineage and where she comes from, and it's a fascinating story. I'm surprised that, like, I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but when I looked at reviews, they weren't very good reviews, but I loved it. So I needed the next book, like, now. So I'm excited to read the second book. Hopefully I can get this in very soon, because if I could get it into my May TBR, that'd be amazing, because I really want to know what happens next. And I know there's another book in the series after this one that's not out yet, but it is coming. So I'm excited to read this so I could get to the third book. And then the next one I picked up, I believe, is Frida McFadden's newest book, One by One. And everything, well, the one book I read by Frida McFadden, I absolutely loved. That's Never Lie. And that inspired me to just buy each and every one of her books. Well, I haven't bought all of her books yet, but I do want to work on doing so. I think this one just came out, like her newest one. Oh, so it was originally, okay, so it's not actually new, because it was originally self-published in 2020, and I didn't realize that. But they must have decided to rebrand it, I guess. I guess Source Books decided to redo it with a new cover, I guess. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a new book, like completely new. But I guess it was already done like 4 years ago. Well, when I saw this, I felt like I needed to pick it up, and it sounds really, really good. So I'm excited to read more of Frida McFadden's work. And then the next book I picked up is Mary Kubica's She's Not Sorry, which just came out this month in April. And I have read a few of her books so far and have really enjoyed them. Local Woman Missing, The Other Misses, and most recently Just a Nicest Couple. I really enjoyed them all. And this just came out like the beginning of April. So I'm excited to jump into this one and see if this one is just as good. I think my favorite of hers that I've read so far was The Other Misses. I'm excited to see if this one is as good, because I've read a few of her books so far and really am enjoying her writing. So I'm excited to dive into this one. And we have 3 books left. Let's get into those. The next one's another Frida McFadden book. And I picked up The Teacher from Costco. One of my friends has a membership, so I went with him and I was able to snag this one for a good price. It's $10.99 at Costco. And it was like $14, 14 something at Target, 14 something on Amazon. I'm like, this is a steal. So I picked this up just so I could continue to read more of her backlist or new books, whatever, you know, the case may be. And I'm hoping to buddy read this with Dana when she's ready to read it, because she's a teacher, my bestie Dana, and I know she wants to read it. So I'm excited for us to buddy read it together when she's ready. And then the next book I picked up was Minx by Sophie Lark. I have read a couple of Sophie Lark books before. They were decent. I gave them 4 stars, I believe. I've read the first book of the Kingmaker series, and then I've also read There Are No Saints. And this one sounded really good too. It's about a billionaire and an escort, looks like. So that should be an interesting storyline. The books that I read from her, I gave each 4 stars. So they haven't been like amazing, but I'm hoping this one will break that. Maybe this one could be a 5-star. I'm hoping. Because from what I've read from her, have been pretty good, but I'm hoping this will be the best. I am very, very much hoping. So I'm excited. And then the last book that I picked up is the Thrills and Chills book club book for the month of May, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong, Dana and Nikki, but I'm pretty sure this is May's book. And that is a reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. It's the same author that wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I absolutely loved and enjoyed. And this one sounded amazing, and I wanted to read it anyway. So I was very excited when I heard it was the Thrills and Chills book club pick. And I'm like, yes! So I pre-ordered this. I have read not just A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I've also read 5 Survive, which I also really enjoyed. And this one sounds really interesting because, you know, it's true crime documentaries stuff in this, and sounds right up my alley. I'm very much excited to read this in May. Yeah, I think she said it was May. Pretty sure. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I cannot wait. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. The hardcover itself has like a little director's chair on it. That looks really cool. So I'm excited to read that. And that's all the books that I actually hauled, which means I have to get rid of 14. A lot of it was pretty easy. So let's go through these ones. So we have book 1 and 2 in the Cross Lake University series. I originally was gifted, I think, the second one. And then I'm like, I need the first one because I can't read the second one without the first one. So I got this first one like ages ago. But I don't think I'm going to be reading this anytime soon. And I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and unhaul these because don't think I'm going to be reading these anytime soon. At least not anytime this year. Because I have so many other books I want to read. So yeah, we're getting rid of these 2. And then I also decided to unhaul Gillian Flynn. I'm going to go ahead and take off Gone Girl and Sharp Objects. I know Gone Girl has gotten really good reviews. I haven't heard much about Sharp Objects. And I know there's adaptations for both of them. However, I don't see myself reading them anytime soon. And I'm not super excited to read them. And then I'm also getting rid of Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. This was not very good. I didn't like this very much. So I'm getting rid of it. And then I'm also getting rid of 6 graphic novels. I write all these for Peace Talks for Realmathon. And well, at this point, I don't think I'm gonna, I like, as much as I like some of these graphic novels, I don't think it's my favorite thing to read. Some of them I really loved, like the Librarian of Auschwitz was really good. That one I gave 5 stars too. But I don't feel the need to keep them after reading them. As of right now, I don't think I want to keep these graphic novels anymore after reading them. And I'm also getting rid of The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. This was, originally I gave 3 stars to. I might lower that to like 1.5 or 2. But this was not good, and I really did not enjoy this very much. So I'm getting rid of it. And then another book I'm getting rid of is Model Land by Tyra Banks. I DNF this, and there's no way I'm going to be reading this. So I'm ready to get rid of it. Plus the pages look really old. So I'm done. This one can go. And then the last book I'm getting rid of is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I love Kristen Hanna, don't get me wrong. But this one I kind of had a bit of a hard time with. It was very slow going, and the ending was decent, but it just didn't blow me away like some of her other books. So I was kind of bummed about that. I will read more books of hers in the future. However, this one didn't quite hit for me as much as her other books have. I mean, I gave it 4 stars because it ended up with a good ending. So I might lower it slightly to maybe 3.5. It was very, very hard most of the way through. I had to like stop and read something else before I could go finish this. So that's only the reason why I'm getting rid of this one. And that's all 14 books I've hauled, and the 14 I'm getting rid of. Have you read any of these? What are your thoughts on any of them? I'd love to know all the things. If you have liked this video in any way, shape, or form, please give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all next time.